Day 2 of the NHL playoffs is here. Me and JD are here to break it down all for you. We have a 4-game slate on tap today.
Yeah, I don't
Let's
think
do
about
it.
that.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Exotic Wagers. This is another episode of the Forecheck podcast where we give you best bets, insight, and trends on today's playoff hockey slate. JD, how was your opening day of the hockey playoffs yesterday?
It was pretty decent. I mean, I think we were talking off air here, and I mean the thing that saved both of us, I think, was the wild game. I had a plus 850 parlay that hit with. I just I didn't overthink it. I had Boldy, Kaprizov, Robertson, and Wyatt Johnston all to point, and that paid plus 850. And I had Kaprizov and Ottinger, who continue to torch both their opponents, each for a goal. And so that was a nice game. The other games, kind of, I basically treaded water, but that was enough to keep me in the green yesterday.
Yeah, for me it was the same thing. I actually made a slide. I think I'm gonna do this maybe going forward. A lot of people kind of always ask me how my day went, but I went 2-5 yesterday. I had Ehlers assist. I was just telling JD that you know Ehlers was like almost assisting on a whole bunch of those power plays and a few other ones that was just there. Tarasenko over 1.5 shots. I think he got one early, but never got another attempt there. And then the parlay, which I gave you guys here on that morning show yesterday, hit the over. Almost got a push there. Crosby had a few good looks. Then he decided to take a penalty there and take all doubt out of the last 2 minutes. But we ended
Oh
up
my
getting the
God,
over
that
two
was
and a
just
half
crazy,
shots.
huh?
Yeah,
Him
we
and
got the
Sanheim were just hacking and whacking each other, and it was like,
yeah,
okay,
and then that other
cross
shot on
checks.
goal. Yeah, that other shot on goal parlay was Crosby 2 and Michkov 2, and Michkov I think ended with 0. So overall, just a 1 unit profit on the day. That shot on goal parlay saved me. I actually have another shot on goal parlay today, um, and I'm on I think I have 3 plays for today right now, and I actually forgot to drop the shot on goal parlay, so I'll probably do that
Hmm.
here in a few minutes on the Discord, and then I can give it to you guys live. But I always like to give it to everybody in the Discord and my followers first before I give it to the public. So if you're not in the Discord, link is in the bio. You can get all of
Shame
my
on you if you're
plays
not in the
for
Discord.
free. Yeah.
Yeah, shame on you.
So, but today we have a 4-game slate. I think, as of yesterday's plays, I said the only real dog I think that was alive was Philly, and they ended up pulling that one out. Today, I think there's a few dogs live. So we'll see how we get to this slate. But I guess we can get right on into it and get this train a rolling.
Yeah.
All right. Let me make a quick timestamp. And I'll give you guys a quick lay of the land. We can keep it rolling. All right. First game on the board, we have the LA Kings on the road plus 220. Colorado at home minus 175. Over under is set at a flat 6, minus 115 to the under. LA comes into the playoffs 35, 27, and 20 on the season, 2010 and 11 on the road. Colorado is 55, 16, and 11 on the season, 26, 9, and 6 at home. Head to head between these two teams, Colorado's won 8 of the last 10, and 4 of those 10 have trended to the over. These two teams saw each other 3 times this season, with Colorado taking all 3, and all 3 by the puck line, 4-1, 5-2, and most recently 4-2 on March 2nd. Um, you know, series-wise for me in this one, I'm on Colorado minus the 1.5 as a parlay piece. I think I mentioned this on yesterday's show, but I have that parlayed with Edmonton to win their series. That's my two-legger for the series bet. I don't have anything else in the series. As far as today's game, I took Colorado last night on the puck line at plus 105 over at Caesars. I expect Colorado to win this game, and I think if Colorado's going to win this game, they're going to win this game on the puck line. They've won it all 3 times this year. I'm sure JD's probably got some more metrics that it goes further deeper than that. But
I got nothing.
oh,
No.
you got nothing. Well, I'm sure he'll have something. But um, but yeah, I mean, for me, it's Colorado in this one. I also have Kempe over 2.5 shots. He's covered that. Hold on just a second. I got rid of that page. Kempe over 2.5 shots. He's covered that in 6 of the last 7 games versus Colorado, head to head. And going into the um, end of the season, there he had it 6 of the last 9. So
Mhm.
I feel like if it follows the game script of what I'm thinking, with Colorado getting out early and being ahead, the Kings are just going to continue to shoot to try to get back in this game. JD, how do you feel about the series and this game?
Well, they're going to need to get the puck first to be able to shoot. Yeah, look, I took Colorado first period at minus a half goal and plus 140. I got it at, and right now best price is about minus 120. I like you. I mean, I just think that Colorado's not. I just don't believe they're going to mess around. And obviously, the Kings are going to be in shut. They're gonna play Kings hockey. They're going to have to try to defend and wait for an opportunity. So, um, yeah, right now, so first period minus a half goal plus 140. Um, I've got the way I played the series. I played the Avalanche to win in a sweep at plus 470, and to win in 5 games at plus 210. I've got Natchez. I played both Natchez and McKinnon to lead the series in goals. Natchez had 4 goals against the Kings in the 3 games, so I got him at plus 550 and McKinnon at plus 210. Quentin Byfield's job in this series is going to be to neutralize Nathan McKinnon, and that's So if you're a by if you I know Byfield's been on a great he's been on a nice run of late in scoring, but
Mhm.
he's their shutdown center. And I went back and took a look, for instance, and I isolated Byfield against Colorado and Edmonton this year, taking the idea that what it's like when he's got to go against McKinnon and McDavid, 2 of the best in the league. And so against Colorado, no points against the Avs no points against the Avs this year. I He may have missed a game, or maybe I did, but I show him for 2 shots on goal and 4 shots on goal. And for instance, in the 3 games against Edmonton this year, he had 1 point and a total of 5 shots on goal. So just kind of plays into why I think that he'll do his best to take out McKinnon, but too many weapons up front on that top line. So I do like Natchez. Um, One of my favorite plays today, Parker Kelly, plus 675 at BetMGM to score a goal. Bumped up to the second line, and that plus 675, the next best price that I saw. And so grab it before, because they're always listening to us. I know DK at plus 500 for a goal, but that's just great value. And I played Kelly for 2 goals in the series at plus 240, and then a smaller play at plus 500 for 3 goals in the series.
Nice. I do like that. And then one thing I forgot to mention
Oh,
yesterday.
and Nature's for a goal today at plus 140.
Oh, I do like that as well. One thing that I did forget to mention yesterday. and I will mention it today because I was line shopping and then I realized and I cashed out on a bet and moved it over to a different book. FanDuel, they do this, they've done this for the last 2 years. You're gonna find better odds on FanDuel, but all
Yeah.
of their shot on goal props are 60-minute lines. So be
Yes.
very
I
careful about
yeah.
that. I'm drinking juice on Kempe over 2.5. It's minus 125 on FanDuel. It's minus 135 on Hard Rock, but I'm taking it on Hard Rock. So if you expect, them to cash their shot on goal in regulation, or you don't expect the game to go to overtime, then I would, go ahead and do it. But I always like to take that probability out because it always seems like you need that last shot and end up coming into play. And Kempe is going to
Yeah,
be
but do you
somebody that's
think
going to be on
but
the ice.
but remember, if you're taking Colorado on the puck line though, Dre, then
Right?
why are you worried about overtime?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it would be more so if my puck line doesn't cash, then I
Yeah.
could, have the probability of breaking even if it were to go to overtime and or extra time. But yeah, I did think about that too because when I cashed out, I'm like, well, I don't expect this to go there, but I ended up just taking it just minus 135 for the sake of if in case it does. So,
Yeah.
um,
So wait, what do you have Kempe at for how for shots? What was
over
that at?
2.5 at minus 135 on Hard Rock. So, I just think, if it follows the game script, he's going to be somebody that's going to be putting up the volume of shots, along
Yeah, I
with
mean, I
maybe
do
like
like that.
Trevor Moore.
I remember playing that last year, um, because if you go back in the playoffs, last year against Edmonton, for instance, that cashed until you got to I think it was the last two games of that series. I'm just looking because his playoff numbers. Thanks for reminding me on that one. That last year he in the playoffs it was so wait, that series went six, right? Three, one, two, three, four. So
Yeah.
for the first four games last year, that cashed. He had at least three shots. The last two games, he was he was held to a total of three shots. Um, and then the series before against Edmonton, it cashed in every one but one of the games. Um, and yeah, I mean, it really is the way to go. I will definitely add that to the card. I'm going to total it up, but that's hitting at around 90% clip in the playoffs for Kempe.
All right. Yep.
So that's a really yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the last couple of playoffs against Edmonton. The only it only missed prior to games 5 and 6 last year. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he
was on
gets
a
the
run of
volume.
about 15 games, 14 or 15 games, with at least two and a half, with at least three shots on goal.
Yeah, he definitely gets the volume for sure. So,
Now, the one thing that may it the only thing that would change that is now they've got Panarin on that line.
yeah.
You know, so does Panarin continue to be more of a distributor, or is he going to be a shooter? Because he
Yeah,
acts like a center. He acts like a center who plays the wing.
yeah, and what's funny is I was looking at his over just 2 shots or over 1.5 shots to put in a
Yeah,
parlay piece when I built my parlay this morning, and, he does have volume, but when I looked against Colorado, it was not consistent enough for even for me to be worried of the 1.5. But, his role could be changed now that he's on the Kings, so and he could be more of the shooter and not necessarily more of the distributor. So it all depends on, it'd be interesting to see how they play him in this first game. Um,
well,
and I'm
I'm
sure the
looking
roles are
back
going to change.
actually. I'm looking back. This is going back to 2021. I guess they were in the bubble back. That was when everything kind of got you know all messed up with the schedule. And I just happened to stumble upon against Colorado this one year 3-1-1-0. Um, but that was a pretty messed up year. I'm not his playoff
Yeah.
numbers. He is one. He is the guy comes. The guy comes to shine. He shines in the playoffs. He is a big game player in my opinion.
Yep. Okay. Do you have
All right.
anything else for this game? No?
I think I said enough. I even said too
Okay.
much.
Okay. Let me get these overlays switched out. I can keep it moving right along. All right. This next one, I'm sure a lot of people are going to have mixed feelings on. Got Montreal on the road, plus 155. Tampa Bay at home, minus 190. Over under is set at a flat six, minus 118 to the over. Montreal's coming in at 48, 26, and 10 on the season, 24, 9, and 8 on the road. Tampa Bay is 50, 26, and 6 on the season, 26, 14, and 1 at home. Head to head between these two teams. Tampa's won 6 of the last 10. These 7 of those 10 have trended to the over. These two teams have seen each other 4 times this season. First 2 games were taken by Tampa. Last 2 games were taken by Montreal. Um, you know, as for me in this series, I think at the end of the day, Tampa Bay is probably going to end up winning this series, but I have no skin in this series. I just
Yeah.
completely just, I think Montreal, the value was on Montreal when it first opened. I think it opened like at 210. I think it closed in the high 180s, something like that, 190s.
Hmm.
But, and then as far as this game, I think that all the value is on Montreal again. You know, I think if Montreal wants to try to win, they need to win early. Um, but Tampa Bay is a tough team, and I could see them bringing it. So I don't have a play in this game yet. But the one game or the one play I was looking at was, Mr. Caulfield. I think even if he doesn't score, he's a player that is going to have to bring his game. Um, and his over 3.5 shots, I think is a little. I think it was plus money, plus 107. He had 10 shots in his last game on 15 attempts. But when you look at his head-to-head history versus Tampa Bay, 4 of the last 5 in Tampa, he's had over 3.5 shots. So, it's just a game where he's gonna have to step up. I think you know, he steps up for Saturdays. Why wouldn't he step up for game 1 of the playoffs? So, JD, how do you feel about this one?
Well, I'm going with another Montreal Canadian who I've got a couple of different plays on, and that's Uri Slavkovsky. He led the Canadians in shots on goal. I'm sorry, in goals against Tampa during the regular season with 4. He was second in the Olympics behind Celebrini in goals with 4. So I've got Slavkovsky and then he had 4, and he led the Canadians in goals and points against Tampa in the regular season. So he's the guy that I'm big on. I'm very bullish on Slavkovsky. I played him for 3+ goals in the series at plus 200. I played him to lead the series in goals at plus 1200. I also played Kucherov 1 point in every game at plus 175. Um, but yeah, I'm bullish on Slavkovsky. I'm also looking at Darren Radish. Trying to figure out how to play Radish in this one here. Going back to you were talking about be cognizant of the shots prop. Um, so if you were to take Radish for 3 shots in regulation, it's minus 120 on FanDuel. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of stuck out for me right now. By the way, Kucherov in the playoffs against Montreal. Granted, it's been a while, but he's got 10 goals in 13 games against the Canadians in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's something that's gonna have to change for him, right? I think he's got 1 goal in his last 17 playoff appearances. Um, or he's just been absolutely nowhere,
He's been an
as
assist
Ian
machine.
Yes, he's been an assist machine. I think the scoring needs to change for sure. And we saw him, late into the season there racking up goals. So hopefully he can bring that back. And then to your point with Slavkowski, like uh when I was looking at Caulfield and talk thinking about that whole angle of him having to do something, I've thought about the same thing with Slavkowski because, like in the Olympics, man, he was the person that brought it all. So I actually thought about doing Caulfield for 3 shots and Slavkowski
Yeah,
for two. Just
yeah,
doing that two leg parlay. Because I expect Caulfield to get three, and I expect Slavkowski to get two. So that might be a little too nice 2 leg
yeah.
parlay. But yeah, as far as an over and an under in this one, uh, you know, I'm gonna wait to see how this first game rolls out. Playoff Vazzy is always uh something to be that always worries me about an over. Um, but I could also see
Yeah, I
these
mean, his
two teams
numbers,
score.
his numbers in the last couple of years are really bad in the playoffs. But
Okay.
my defense would be is that he had to play Florida, and um, now the other thing that to also think about in this series is no Hedman, at least for game one, according to John Cooper, and Montreal's without Noah Dobson. Um, and I still think I don't know about you, Dre. I really think Tampa's been playing possum for for a month. Like I just
I
don't
could,
think that. I think that's the one thing that scares me about taking Montreal. The value is, I agree with you. The value is there with Montreal. Uh, I'm, I guess I'm relying on Tampa's pedigree is what, or what scares me is Tampa's pedigree. Like
yeah.
this is their time.
Yep. I agree, and I think Cooper's on a mission. And to your point with them playing possum, yeah, we've seen that with other teams before, and Florida going into the end of the season, just losing games left and right. Then playoffs start, and nobody can bully them around. They're just a totally different team. So be interesting to see, how this game one plays out. Now, I think if you like Montreal, obviously you got to take them early. But if you like Tampa Bay, maybe you wait it out and see if Montreal takes this game one early. But you also see how this game goes, and you can make a better cognizant bet on a heavy favorite. So be
Here's
interesting to
one
see.
thing I will say about Kucherov.
Hmm.
So I'm just going through the numbers here. It's 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's no goals in his last 15 playoff games. Um, 10 of those were against Florida. Who's bullying? And now 4 were against Toronto. He scored when they got knocked out by Toronto. He scored in game one, didn't score after that. Um, but who's going to bully him on Montreal? Like I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't. Um, so that's why I'm not as concerned this time around.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I just don't think he's going to get bullied in the same way. I don't think it's the same. I don't mean, I think it's this roster. I'm trying to think of who Montreal is going to match up against the Kucherov line. Probably the Deneau line. I'm thinking, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do like that parlay that you mentioned, Caulfield for. I would even maybe maybe even put in. Uh, Maybe I'd put in Radish in that parlay as well.
Yeah.
Um, so if you were to do Caulfield for three, um, and Slavkovsky for two, is what you had? Is that what you had?
Yep. That's correct.
Um, and then if I put Radish in for three, that pays 226.
I like that. I do like that.
So yeah, I mean that.
Yeah.
I yeah, especially with no Hedman in the lineup.
Yeah.
And if you want to be even a little more conservative, and you want to play Caulfield for three and both Slavkovsky and Radish for two, it's plus 134.
Okay.
And I wouldn't even be opposed to that. Just, I'll take a smaller profit, less risk.
Yeah.
And again,
Yeah.
that those numbers are by the way, that's at FanDuel, so that's based on regulation.
And one other player I was looking at, he doesn't have very good numbers head to head, but he did have five in the last game that he played Montreal, was
Yeah,
Brandon Hagel. Brandon
yeah.
Hagel's had over 3.5 in five of the last six games heading out of the season. Um, and he's somebody, too, also that has had a lot of volume. So at 3.5 at plus 122, I thought that was good value, especially in four of those five. He's had five shots on goal. So
Hmm.
if he
Okay.
comes into this one, he definitely going to come in shooting. All right, we can move it right along. Let me get these overlays switched out. Now, this next game, I have a feeling could go one of two ways.
Well, it could only go one of two ways, dude. I mean, really.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, one, all right. 30. All right. Next game on the board, we have the Boston Bruins on the road plus 140. Buffalo at home minus 170. Over under is set at a flat six, minus 118 to the over. Boston 45, 27, and 10 on the season, 16, 16, and 9 on the road. Buffalo is 50, 23, and 9 on the season, 26, 10, and 5 at home. Head to head between these two teams, they are an even 500 on those last 10. Four of those 10 have trended to the over. These two teams have seen each other four times this season. Uh, Boston won three of the four. Most recently, Boston winning 4-3 in overtime back in March 25th in Buffalo. Um, as far as this um, series goes, I think this is a somewhat even matchup. I think it could go either way. I think Buffalo's going to end up winning this one, but Pasta, Zaka, Arvidsson, Geeky, those types of players, that kind of worries me. I think Boston's not going to go easy. We've seen Buffalo, during the season stand up to teams like Tampa Bay and outduel them and end up winning. So I think Buffalo's going to end up taking this series in the long run. I did not play Buffalo. I don't think I played anything in regards to the season. I mean, in regard to the series, I was going to
Hmm.
take Buffalo and parlay it with somebody like Carolina, but I ended up parlaying Carolina with the over 5.5 of the Wild in the Dallas series. So, as far as this game, Buffalo struggled this season on the road. Um, Buffalo's been great at home. Um, I think Buffalo probably wins this one, but I don't have any plays in this game yet. JD, uh, where you have
Yeah. So
anything
the
skinny in the
way,
game yet?
yeah, for the game, I've got two Saber players that, or three. But Josh Norris has been on a nice little run of late. I think he finished the season points in six straight. He's had good numbers against the Bruins. He's got 4 goals in 6 games against Swayman. So, you could do it. You could go you can go the easy way and just take his point prop at plus 106. Um, or if or you can go split, split however you want, however, whatever, split a unit, let's say, plays goal prop at plus 330 and his point prop at plus 200. And if he hits his point prop, then I'm sorry, his assist prop at plus 200. So if he just gets the assist, then it's basically like you played the point prop only, and if you get lucky and he does score, then you're going to make a little more money. But I do like Norris. I like Jason Zucker. I've got his point prop at plus 100. Was the best price that I was able to find on Zucker. Um, Points in 3 of 4 versus Boston, and he had points in 4 straight heading in. Uh, the I did a couple of the series plays that I made this one. Tage Thompson to lead the series in shots on goal at plus 170. 22 shots on goal in the 4 games this year against Boston. That was, I think Jason Zucker was second with 13. And Thompson was seventh in the NHL this year in shots on goal with 272. So that was kind of my way to play Buffalo, was to play Thompson shots. I
Hmm.
bet the series to go 5 at plus 250. I split and I bet it to go 6 at plus 200, and I split a half a unit. I just don't think it's going 7, so that's how I decided to play it. I haven't jumped on any Bruins players yet. I'm trying to figure out who I want to target in that regard.
Okay. Yeah, like I said,
Um,
I may get to something in this game, but I kind of wanted to uh, dive a little deeper and see specifically shot props. I think there's going to be shots in this game. I just got to figure out who I really want to target, um, because there is a few, and like I said, I have that shot on goal parlay. I'll give it to you here at the end of the show if you're not in the Discord. Um, but yeah, there's a few players in this game that I do have tied up in that parlay.
yeah, I mean, I'm just looking here. So, um, oh, I'm sorry, block. I wish they would do a. I was looking for anyone who was doing hits props. Yes, did you find it? Were you ever
So
interested in that, Mark?
yeah, so the only market that you can find hit props on are the like underdog, prize picks,
Mm.
the DK pick six, those fantasies style
Oh,
sports
okay.
books. Those are the only ones that you can find them in.
Oh,
Um,
because it's funny. Yesterday, I was looking for Yakov Trenin of the
mhm.
Wild. I did not realize, Dre, he had 417 hits this past season. Next in line on the Wild was Marcus Foligno with 180.
Wow, three times more than
Almost 300 more hits.
fuck.
Almost. And he had 11.
Fuck.
11 yesterday.
Wow, that's insane. That's something you could ladder, but I think
Yeah. Yeah.
on those
Ritskovian, by the way, had 8.
wow.
Um, but yeah, like I'm trying to find, like, I would love to. Here, I'm just trying to see how this would work. You could do Tage Thompson and Pasta each for 3 shots in regulation at minus 106.
I was looking at that. I did like that. I said 3 and 3 sounds like a good round number for them. Um I also have, let's see, I think I have Zucker over 1.5 in my parlay.
Yeah.
Um
I mean,
and
how do they not each get 3 shots today? And
yeah,
pretty much at even money? Like,
yeah,
I think that's really good value.
yep. I could definitely see it.
So, yeah, it's a coin flip. I mean, by the way, I can't wait. That building is going to be just bedlam today. Like
They've been
it'll
waiting.
be just, yeah, they've been waiting. I mean, they've been waiting 15 years now for for the playoffs. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, I don't know on the Boston side. Like I'm not. Yeah, I don't know. They're I think, tongue tied here. There's a lot of, no one stands out. Like you could, you told me you wanted to do something with Morgan Geeky, or you want to do something with Victor Arvidsson or Casey Middlestat. Fraser Mitten. I could get behind all of those.
Yeah.
I just, I'm trying. I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks. You know, I'm trying to cut back. I'm trying to be safe here, not go too crazy. But like Pasta's numbers, against Boston or against Buffalo. I mean, they're what he's got. Just his points. I mean, doesn't miss. There's not too many games where he doesn't point against Buffalo. Um, but you'd have to parlay that. Yeah. I mean, the ones that stand out to me are Norris and Zucker, on the Buffalo side, and I'll go back with that Tage and Pasta shots on goal prop. It's not sexy, but I think it wins.
Hello, Mr. Perlo. How are you
Hey, how you
doing this
Hey,
morning?
doing?
came out of witness protection.
No, my computer wouldn't start this morning. I had to take it all the way
Oh.
down to freaking Best Buy to those geek guys and then come back again.
Oh, wow.
So now I didn't even think I was going to make it, but I did make it for a little bit anyways. I had to check out what you guys were betting. So,
No, you're
is
good.
this the last game we're on now then?
N-
Probably.
no,
Well,
this
let's go
is
back. Why don't you
go
share
ahead.
your words of wisdom on the other games? Don't cheat the
uh,
audience, you bastard.
yeah, I'm really kind of relying more on you guys, but I'll do my best.
Oh, that's a big mistake. That's just pure.
Yeah, these
Colorado.
are
Oh.
these first games are tough.
Yeah, so
Well, yeah, we both have the Kings to win in regulation.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I
Sure you
have
do.
I have Colorado on the puck line. Um, that's the only play I have there
Uh,
right now for Colorado. And then I
yeah,
have
the
Kempe
Colorado
shots.
game, I'm taking first period puck line, second period puck line, doing that thing all the way up to the third period puck line.
yeah.
And Forsberg over saves, 27 and a half, or maybe Colorado over shots might be the better way of doing it. But yeah, yeah, LA will probably come out in the first period. I wouldn't like over first period or something. Probably wouldn't be bad, or do the Colorado
Well, just
over
to give
one
you
and
an
a half
idea,
first period.
LA has, for what it's worth, LA in their last four trips to Colorado have been outscored 18-5.
Oh, jeez, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was going over I was doing the roster thing last night on my show, and I didn't even bother flipping over to Colorado. Like I can't believe how bad a year some of these guys have had. Byfield's defensive analytics have been just absolutely brutal this year. He's like the one part of his game that is something that to be looked highly upon. You can't look at. It's
Why?
Clark is about the best in the bunch. Clark
What do
has
you
had
what
the
do you mean?
best year out of
So
all.
what are you talking when you say Byfield's defensive analytics? What do you mean by
Wow,
that?
this year they dropped off of the map really bad. I was so surprised to see that.
Like what's
Yeah, it
dropped
hasn't been
off,
good.
Pearl? I'm just I because
Just
my push my pushback to that is, and I was bringing up the numbers earlier. He's done a great job of shutting down like McDavid and McKinnon when he's gone head to head with them.
but they haven't got points
Right.
for some reason.
Or
Oh,
well,
okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't look like I look back at the game against LA about 2 weeks ago where
Okay.
McDavid got, they blanked LA and McDavid had one shot on goal in nine attempts. Um, I mean, I think he's
All
done
right.
a
So
very
maybe
good.
he came to play every once in a while, but I mean, this guy,
Well,
it's
no,
not
against,
like 50% below, or he's below 50% uh, above
yeah,
replacement this year, where he's normally right up
but
in
you,
that like 100%. Like he's normally a stud, but this year he was really bad. And I said
yeah, but
I
you
said
got,
last night that I think
Yeah.
that had a lot to do with that collapse system they were using in LA, and he just ended up spending too much time back there. And these analytics can be skewed. Yeah, they have to be taken in context, and I think that
Right.
could
And
have a lot
I
to
think
do
that
with it.
I can tell you, well, look, I think that he's been their shutdown center this year. Let's put it this
Oh yeah,
way.
absolutely, yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
so the one thing I did say with Byfield though is that be careful because his if you want to just take about the offensive numbers, he's got in the 5 games that he's played against Edmonton and Colorado, he's got 0 goals, and he's had
Hmm.
2 shots or less in one, two, three, in four of the 5 games. So he's done a really good job. I mean, I'm not like I don't know. I don't know what
Under the circumstances, he probably has.
I just think
It's just
the numbers eyeball test. Like I don't care. I can just tell you, and I'm not one that supports the Kings. Eyeball test.
right,
This guy does a really good job of shutting down big time players. He may
right.
not
Here,
care
I'll
about
just
playing Calgary and Vancouver, uh,
right.
big time players. He's done a good job. Over 31 and a half shots on goal for Colorado, by the way, is the number at Bet Rivers I saw.
30. Oh, that's good. I would take that. Yeah, absolutely. That's probably made the better bet there for sure. 31 and a half. That's it.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. That's
Why
light.
doesn't
I think for sure they'll get way over that.
let me see
Unless
if
they
I
just
can
totally blow LA out of the water like early, but I think LA will put up as much of a fight as possible. I don't think it's going to be like 6-0 or something like that.
I
Seven
don't know
nothing.
why. I
If
know
it
you're
is, it might happen later.
I saw you were trying to share your screen, but for some reason it won't let
Yeah,
me do
it
it.
doesn't work.
Mm-mm.
But I was just going to share it. Yeah. But I mean, this is over 82 game schedule. And like I said, I noticed that everybody's dropped. So, um, still not popping up there. No.
No.
Okay. Everybody's dropped. And it's usually a sign of, like, uh, coaching strategy changed and all that kind of stuff
Well,
like
yeah.
that.
So
Or it's,
I don't know. You also have to understand systems and eyeball tests. Like, just
yeah,
looking at
I say
analytic numbers can be
you
very
got to take
deceiving.
it in context. You got to take it in
Yeah.
context.
Yeah. All right. So go
Okay.
ahead. What else you
And
got?
Tampa Bay, Montreal. For me, the only thing I'm possibly looking at is Caulfield over 3.5 shots, but I don't have anything in the series, and I don't have anything in the game as of right now.
Um, I'm thinking about the under here. If I think it's minus 185. It's 6.5 is -1. Yeah, I like the under 6.5. I think Tampa Bay will keep it down, keep the scoring down on this one. They're gonna kind of feel each other out a little bit, but yeah. So something has me like leaning towards um, Montreal first goal, first period or something. I think they're going to have to come super hard out in first period. But most of these games I like to watch first. Like I'm glad I live bet that Philly game last night instead of, even though I probably would have took Philly. I live bet it. I got it at a better price, and um, but I think this will be. I like the under here. Under 6.5. I think I like the under in most of the series in this one. I think Tampa Bay is going to play straight up playoff hockey here, and it's going to be tough for Montreal to get a lot of goals. They want to keep it tight. They got an advantage if they do that. If Montreal gets wide open, gets some space, they can win this series. They need the space though, so Tampa will
Yeah. Just
probably keep it tight all the way through. Okay.
the one thing to consider: no Hedman, no Dobson. For,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One
No
of the
Hedman,
each
no
team,
dog.
yeah. Okay. Buffalo and Boston. Um, for me and JD were just talking about possibly taking Thompson for 3 shots, and, Pasta for 3 shots. It's even money. Also, one thing I had mentioned to everybody, is on FanDuel, you're gonna get very good prices on shots on goal props, but all of those are in 60-minute lines. So, they do this every year. They've done it for the last 2 years where all of their shot props are in 60 minutes. So, be very wary of that because if it goes to overtime, they don't count. Um, and that's why
Wait a
you
minute.
get a little bit better line.
Do they not? I thought if you no. I thought that if you cash it in 60, it counts.
You count, correct. Correct, but if
Right.
they but if it yeah,
Sure.
I was
Right.
yeah. I was just saying if you needed 4 and he only has 3 and he gets the 4th
Got
in
it.
OT,
Right. Of
you're good.
course.
Yeah.
Right. So the number that we were quoting, I mean, I got minus 106 for Pasta and Tage in regulation to each get 3 shots.
Yeah. What do you like in this one, Perlo?
I like Swayman over Saves. And I think Buffalo first game and series is I'm on one of my series bets here. I think Buffalo's going to handle Boston. I know all the experience issue kind of issues, but Tuck has 60 some. He made it to the finals. Zucker's got some experience. McLeod's actually still got experience with Edmonton. I mean, there's guys there that do have experience. Um, and I just think, like on paper, anyways, man on man, Buffalo's just got a lot stronger team. And the only thing with Boston is they're so opportunistic. You give them, they score goals. Just they could be outshot 42-20, but they just get that goal. That's the only thing I'm worried about with Boston is that they are that, and they have all that experience. So if Buffalo is nervous for some reason, Boston can take it. But I'm going to trust Ruff to have these guys ready and confident, and that barn to be just absolutely booming, and they're going to run off that energy and win this game. I think Boston maybe wins one at home, and their road record is just absolutely it was not very good this year. So I took Buffalo I took Buffalo and Buffalo to win the series. So I'm not going to take Buffalo on the game here at this price.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. I think, the one thing that Boston has, is Swayman. I think if anybody
Yeah.
can, come around and steal a game, it would be him, but, it's gonna
Mhm.
be up to UPL and Lyon to step up and, bring their A
I don't
game.
think it's going to be Lyon because I think isn't he? Is he not? Is he hurt?
Or
Still
yeah.
hurt or not?
So it's
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. Then it would be Ellis,
Not that
right?
I'm concerned the way Colton Ellis has played, and Lyon was terrible down the stretch. But
Yeah.
I agree with you
Yeah.
about Swayman. He's going to have to steal 2 games, in my opinion, for Boston to win
Yeah.
this series.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean,
Yeah, I
and
mean, I would be
Not to say that
tempted.
he can't do it though. He's been doing it
No,
all year. I know his numbers on face value are not spectacular, but his saves above expected are second highest in the league or something like that, 23.5 or third highest in the league. Yeah, he's been
yeah.
excellent. So
I mean, I would look at. I think if you like Buffalo, I would play them at minus 1.5 games.
yeah, gentlemen
yeah,
sweep.
it's not bad too. I like them both. Yeah, I like them both.
But yeah, I like it. Okay. And then that's it. We're right back on schedule. So let me
Okay.
get the
Avi
overlays.
was on yesterday. He was screaming Boston's going to win this series, but I think this time it might have a lot more to do with how much of a Boston fan he is. Then
All right, let me get these switched out real quick.
that stat you had, unfortunately, it didn't come through with you on the Philly Pittsburgh game, the minus one and
Oh,
a half.
don't, oh,
Yeah,
so frustrating. Thought I had it.
yeah, but that
It's still
applies
two
to
and
all
one
series.
yesterday.
Sorry.
Still 2-1 yesterday.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I was just going to ask about that. Maybe we want to look at that again too, because it is a
Yeah,
good stat, regardless of the fact that the Philly one didn't hit.
I mean that stat is 30 now. It's 34 of the last 50 playoff games have been decided by at least 2 goals. So if you
Yeah,
you know you could play both teams at -1.5 in every game,
yeah,
which
yeah.
I may end up doing.
Yeah, I would uh I would have to agree with that. Okay. Next game, last game on the board for the Sunday evenings or Sundays playoff slate. We have the my Utah Mammoth on the road, plus 125. Looks like a little bit of monies came in on Utah. Vegas at home, minus 150. Over under is set at a flat six, minus 115 to the over. Utah 43-33 and 6 on the season, 21-17 and 3 on the road. Vegas 39-26 and 17 on the season, 20-12 and 9 at home. Head to head between these two teams as the Utah Mammoth, they are 3-3 versus Vegas. One of those six have went to the over. These two teams have seen each other 3 times this season. The first game was won by Vegas 4-1. In the last two games, Utah won 5-1 and 4-0. One thing to note is both of those games had, or the last game had Stone, I believe, but the other two did not. Um, for me, I think I think Utah's probably got a chance to win a couple games early. But I think in the long run in this series, I think Vegas is going to probably end out winning this one. I think Utah is giving them a good run. I think Utah's got a chance to push this to 7. Hell, I even think that they may win it. I don't want to be biased here, but I really think, with Vegas and Stone coming back, they were jiving really good there towards the end. Although, some of those wins were against mediocre teams. I think they had a good win against Colorado, but their other wins were Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Seattle, Winnipeg, and Seattle. So, going into the home stretch, it wasn't that they were playing really good teams outside of maybe Colorado. Um, and they also lost to Washington and Edmonton as well. So I think Utah's got a fighter's chance here. It's going to come down to their goal scores. And to be honest, it's really going to come down to their goaltending. Veg Malka's had a heavy workload throughout this season, which is, to be honest, he's used to it. Happens every year, it seems like. But, I think Ecclestone, those guys are going to come to play.
Eichel, not
Eichel,
Eckel.
Sorry, Eichel came to play. I do have a 2-unit play on Eichel over 3.5 shots. I caught that at what odds did I get that at?
I'll be right back.
Yep. Eichel. I want to say I got it at, where's the ticket? Over 3.5 at -105. So
Mm.
he's had
Is that regulation or
no, that is BetMGM. So it is includes overtime. He had over 3.5 in 3 straight heading out of the season, but 4 straight versus Utah, he's had over 4.5 shots, including all 4 games or all 3 games this season. So I think he's gonna come to play and bring it. One other person I might get to is Logan Cooley, over 1.5 shots at -120. He's covered that in let me pull that up. He's covered that in 6 straight versus the Kings. And he's covered
versus
that
Vegas?
in,
You mean?
oh yes, versus Vegas. And he's covered that in 6 of the last 10 overall. So I think that's both of those two plays are good. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna get to Utah money line. I think, Vegas at home in the Fortress, kind of hard to go against that, but I almost have the, Vegas first year vibes for Utah. So I don't know. We'll see where we get. JD, where do you feel? Or how do you see this one?
I'm. I mean, look, Utah's handled them. They outscored them 9-1 in their last two wins, and the two wins over Vegas. I just think it's a different Vegas team than uh, you know. Everything's changed under Torts. Uh, yeah, I mean, Veggie played 63 games. He was the only goalie this year to play more than 60. I just wonder long term, now you're talking playoffs and everything gets ramped up. It's a lot of games. And as much as, I've always said this guy, he'd play all 82 and he's in great shape. Um, I just think this may be too much for Utah. I don't get the same vibes that you do um, regarding Utah. I just think they're too small. Uh, I do like, I'm looking at stuff as with Keller and with Cooley, obviously. But I'm going to sprinkle on Kyler Yamamoto. I know he does not have a goal against Vegas in his career, but he's up on the second line and he's plus 525 for a goal. Uh, to me, that's just worth a pizza money bet, just strictly on the value for it. I've got Mark Stone to lead the series in goals. He had the most goals for Vegas under Tortorella. He had 5 in the last 6 games. I'm looking at Eichel for assists to lead the series in assists at plus 200. Uh, the Knights are going nuclear, at least to start the series. They've got Marner, Eichel, Stone to start. That's line one for game one. So those are just some of my thoughts.
Okay. Perlo, how do you see this series and this game?
I don't do those point props enough, as much as I should. You guys are really good at them. I usually tell you guys on it. You guys got me into it more than anything. But I like that top line parlay. Uh,
Yeah, you can get that at plus
Marner.
101.
Oh, okay, it's plus 101.
I mean, I'd still do it like even
Maybe
money for
throw
a
Marner
point.
for an assist and then make it a little higher up on that because Marner will probably be the one with the assist on that. But I like that. Yeah, I think a lot of people are liking Utah here mostly because Hart hasn't really, he's not doesn't pop out as the guy that's going to shut down the opposition. And Utah does have opportunistic shooting for sure if they can get room when they're passing the puck and when they're passing the puck quick in the offensive zone. They're much like Montreal or Pittsburgh or something like that. It's pretty impressive. Um, but this first game, I'm just going to go. I think the over first period here is a pretty good play. Utah still has that big over first period trend going on. Now that was in the regular season, but I can't see this. This is one of the few games I don't think it'll start slow. I think this will be quick right off the get go. I think Utah's gonna want to get on Vegas right away here. So I think they'll probably set the pace, and Vegas will have to keep up. I don't even mind Utah first goal first period, and then bet Vegas live. It's gonna be a live game for me. Um, but I think they're going to come out hot. It's been a long time since they've, a lot of these guys, the younger guys, anyways. I think they're going to be full of piss and vinegar in this series. Um, but
You
it's,
don't think Vegas is going to come out hot?
I think they both will. Yeah, that's why I like the over first period. Yeah, I
Oh, that's
think
what
they
you like the
both.
over.
Yeah,
By the
yeah, yeah,
way,
yeah. But
uh,
I'm saying Utah for sure. Vegas may want to try to feel this game out a little bit to start, but they're going to keep up
yeah,
the
I don't
pace.
get. I don't buy that.
I hope
Carter
you're
Hart
right because
against
the over first
Colorado.
period is really good then.
Colorado again. I'm sorry, Carter Hart against Colorado and Edmonton this year. In the last, under Torts, gave up a total of 3 goals.
Yeah. I
I'm just.
Mhm.
I was looking at the over in this game. I don't know if I can get there. Utah's been great at scoring. I don't think Utah shuts down Vegas at all. Um, but I think they can
Yeah.
contribute to an over. Um, with the full game, I think maybe Utah, and I think if you like goals, Utah's got a chance. I think if you like a lower scoring game, Vegas probably wins this game. Um, Now, one thing that I was looking at too is where did I have it written down? I know I had a stat on this.
Yeah, has Vegas been better first period since Tortorella took over? Maybe. I know that they used to be there with Cassidy. They were really bad, but is it? I know the one game, the first game that Tortorella came over. I mean, they weren't ready. They didn't play well. That they took over. Tortorella even brought it up in um, the post game, but I'm not sure how I oh,
I'll tell you.
my
I'm just trying to
okay.
pull it up on my
My
computer,
memory
but I'm
says
having
that they
some
did
issues.
get better first period, but I could be wrong.
Here, I'll tell you. I got it right here. Vegas first period. First game was Vancouver, so they were. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, and 4 in the first period under
Okay.
Tortorella,
Yeah.
and under Torts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They gave up 2 goals or less in 6 of the 8 games.
Yeah, so they're under first period. That's the hard thing about the over first period is was an under first period team. I could kind of rock with that 1-1 exact score. I may put a little bit on that. 1-1 exact
Yeah,
score.
they had only one of the 8 games under Torts was 1-1. Um, they had 3 0-0s. Twice they led 1-0. Yeah, there's only one over in the 8 under Torts,
Yeah,
and that was
Vegas is an
Colorado.
under. Utah is more of an over first period team. Put those together and you got to kind of powder keg it a bit. So maybe 0-0-1-1. I just think that I think there could
I
be
don't
a
know.
draw.
1-0 has been a better score, been more common than anything under Torts. So,
1-0 for
um,
the opposition or for them, like both of them.
or well, they were in the 2 wins, they led 1-0, and in the 2 losses in the first period, they trailed 1-0. So,
Ah,
pick your poison.
hmm, hmm.
Pick your
So if you
poison.
think they're going to win,
Um,
1-0 is probably a good bet.
So
or no bet. Put your money elsewhere.
one thing I was looking at was taking Eichel and Keller for an assist and parlaying the two together and get plus two
Mm.
225 for both of them to get an assist. Eichel coming into the end of the season. I mean, he had 3 against Winnipeg, 2 against Seattle. I think
Yeah.
he's had two assists in the last 3 games versus Utah. Keller, on the other
Well,
hand,
that's why I'd like him to lead the series in assists.
yep.
And Perlo, by the way, if you did the parlay as you were suggesting and just subbing out the Marner assist instead of a point, it's plus 136 as opposed to plus 101.
Mm,
For me, that's not enough to go
no,
that route. I'd rather just play the 101.
yeah.
And Keller's had an assist in 10 straight. So
Yeah. Keller's numbers are.
How's one thing I didn't? How's Utah on the penalty kill?
How is
mm,
Utah in the penalty kill? I can tell you.
No, probably mid because I
Um,
haven't heard anything about it all year.
yeah, I was gonna say I think they're mid. 19th
Utah
in the 19th in the
was.
league.
Yeah, they were 19th in the penalty kill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Um.
and not that Vegas's power play was lighting it up.
Yeah.
I agree with I would lean to the over in this game, but I'll probably bet it live. Um, I think
Yeah, I
Both of
think
these
this
teams were scoring
this
well going into coming into the playoffs.
this matchup is size versus speed. You know, it's like Vegas is big, Utah's fast. Vegas does play somewhat a little bit fast too, but not Utah fast. So it'll be interesting to see. I think this is definitely going to be um, something
So, but for
I
what
will be
it's
live
worth, I
betting.
stand corrected. Utah's given up a power play goal in 5 of their last 7 games, heading into the regular or heading into the playoffs.
Hmm.
And Vegas has scored a power play goal in 5 of their last 7.
Yeah.
Um,
ML Kid is asking where you got those series assist props to lead the series in assists. Is that
Bet 365 had it. Bet three
Bet
six.
three six
Bet.
five?
I'm pretty sure that's where I got it. Hang on. Is that where I got it?
Thank you all, 72 of you guys, for tuning in on this early
We got
Sunday
the first
NHL.
firster over shots. Yeah, last night he got over his 1.5. I got him to get over
Yeah.
1.5 at the whole series for plus 800. I like that bet.
Bet three
Nice.
six five. No.
Yeah, I was gonna put his over 1.5 in that parlay I gave out. I ended up not, which I'm glad because I was gonna put Martone in there too, and I think Martone only ended up with one.
Yeah, I laid off Martone. It's like I think he's a great kid, but they're gonna. I think Pittsburgh's gonna be highlighting. They're gonna test that kid.
What was his anytime goal yesterday? That was good.
I think I played that. Let me see if I can find it. Did I play it? Plus 275.
Yeah, I was wondering what it was when I saw that he scored. I'm like, this sucker's gonna score and not cover the shot on goal prop.
Right. Right.
That's how it always happens. But um, okay, I think that does it for our Sunday slate. Uh, we will be back this evening over on Perlo's channel, breaking down
Yeah.
the Monday games for you, 10 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you follow Perlo over at Perlo. What is your? Oh, it's Perlo's NHL
Carlos
POW.
NHL POW.
Yep, and Perlo Wisdom on YouTube. So
Yeah, check
we will
that
be
out.
over there tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, breaking down the slate. Do you guys have any other closing marks? Where can they find you, Perlo?
Yeah, Perlo's NHL POW. Check it out. The Yeah, the deal is over. So I'm making today. I'm making a new. You can buy in on the playoffs for the whole playoffs here for $50. I'll be setting up new I'm at the Winnable. I'll be setting up new packages. So those who got in yesterday, congratulations! You got a deal for life at 50 and $70 VIP. I'll be setting up a new package. Swag has been doing pretty well on baseball. So he's got a baseball package as well you can purchase there, and I think it's like $25 a month or something like that. His record last year, he was hitting at 67% last year, so he's pretty good. And we're gonna set up a show for him. He's gonna start doing a show on my channel. So again, go to just search Pearl of Wisdom or go over to my Twitter and you can find my link for the YouTube there. Yeah, so that's what I got going on.
And JD, I know you said you had a decent spot this morning. You
I
got
had
any
one
more
this
coming up?
morning, and I got one at 2 o'clock Pacific, and then 9 o'clock Pacific tonight. So yeah,
You can
that's
also
that's
read
what I
his
got
playoff
going.
columns over at
Yeah,
VSIN.
got those coming out in the next couple hours for today. And then I'll post something online. I'll put up my final plays for the Colorado game in a bit.
And you can find me over on YouTube, X, Instagram at Exotic Wager. Oh, a Twitch at Exotic Wagers with the Z. I stream to all of those platforms now. You can also find the Legacy Sports Discord link in any of my bios and get all of my official plays for free. Also, I forgot to give you guys the shot on goal parlay. I actually put it in an overlay while we were talking real quick. So this is the shot on goal parlay that I have for today. I hit the one yesterday that was a plus 555. Today's shot on goal parlay is a 7-legger, and it is a plus 1042. It is Kempe 2+ shots, Natchez 2+ shots, Trevor Moore 2+ shots, Jack Eichel 3+ shots, Keller 2+ shots, Caulfield 3+ shots, and Jason Zucker 2+ shots. So he risked 1 unit to win 10.42 units. So good luck to you if you tail this bet. Good luck to all of us for whoever tails this bet. But for JD, Perlo, I am Exotic Wagers. We will catch you this evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, over on Perlo's channel. Thank you guys, and good luck on all of your playoff bets. See ya. Peace.